Hey everybody, thanks for being here. We have Bobby or Secret8znMan from Eagle's Nest who played in the Carta Magica regionals today and came in 13th place playing this TS deck. It looks like, what would you call this? A TS control or what do you name your deck?
It's definitely more of a mid range to control kind of style, and I've been really missing it. When I played nationals, I really had a aggro strategy in mind, but now that puppets and alter s are these kind of like ignorant uh, aggro decks, I was just trying to look for something very mid range to control-ish, and I feel like this TS Slop, which is what the name is on Digilab, is really fits what I really wanted in a deck. And shout outs to Billy from Hong Kong, second place Worlds. This is his deck. I just lifted it off his Twitter and played it exactly the way that he had it.
So you said you wanted to beat the other aggro decks by playing a control deck yourself. And what
Mm-hmm.
attracted you to this deck specifically as opposed to
Oh,
some other TS deck or some other control deck?
specifically, I really liked the way BT10 fit in this meta. BT10 Venus fit in this meta. BT10 Venus, very important to prevent your opponents from getting when digivolving when attacking effects, and that's a lot of the effects that there are now. Even though you can loop it, it's not the death sentence it sounds like. Lots of people have other on plays or ways to get around Venus Spawn, but dropping a Venus Spawn really makes it difficult for your opponents to come back. That -1 security probably means that they are not killing you that turn, and sometimes all you need is that one extra turn to win with time changers.
So I understand that you're going to deny a lot of effects with her. She could be used as a
Mm-hmm.
defensive tool. She could be used as a floodgate tool. Which meta decks out there were you expecting to run into that she saved you
She
from?
saved me
Yeah.
from I going through my matchups today. Like Ashley, it saved me in like more than half my games for sure. Uh, I think all meta decks, like if you're like a decent deck, you have a way to out the Venus. But that one extra turn is sometimes what you need, or like one extra that awkward turn from your opponent. It helped me against Ultra S Ladder. It helped me against Imperial. Helped me against Puppets. It helped me against Medusa. Yeah, it honestly like six of my like the games I've won straight up just carried by Venus. And being able to refresh your home rolls, amazing. Um, yeah, it's that it's kind of just that one extra turn you need, and it's been great. Um, uh, like yeah, sorry, yeah.
Cool.
Venus,
That's good.
Venus
It's
belongs
good
great.
reasoning.
Yeah.
And then, like, if we can go through the list, like you have
Mm-hmm.
the draw Wanyamon. Are
Mm-hmm.
you in agreement that you prefer the draw Wanyamon as opposed to the Bukamon because the Wanyamon's cute and the Bukamon's ugly, or is there more to it than that?
The Bukamon is more for OTK style,
Hmm.
right? You're trying to kill your opponent in that last swing, but in order to get that draw consistency, you really want to see that draw egg,
Sure.
uh,
So,
and like
and you're playing
getting
control,
into
right?
Venus.
You're not going
Yes,
for
this
a
is
fast kill.
we're not going to a fast kill. A lot of times, I'm passing my opponent to a lot of memory on really strong megas. But yeah, it's important to get the consistency. Important to see that BT10 Venus if you want it when you want it, and that is why like if you take a look at the I think what's really smart about Billy's TS build, right,
Hmm.
is that he's playing the blue Gomamons and the yellow Elecmons, right? A
Hmm.
lot of people, and he's maxing out the four Gomamons,
Yeah,
and it's
so,
not even just for the unsuspend because you never get the draw off the inherit, right?
okay.
It's straight up. It is a searcher you can play off your Abyss Sanctuary,
That's right.
and you can play a blue or yellow, right?
Hmm.
Your yellow is Elect. Elect doesn't pick up Venus. Elect bottoms it. And even though so many times when I search three with Goma,
Right.
I can only pick up one. I don't pick up two because when you look at it, it picks up no. It picks up in
Yep.
this deck.
You
It
need
picks
that
up Shaman
shaman. Yep.
and it picks up TS.
Right.
So a lot of times I'm just picking up TS. Like you have noted how annoyed I am
Hmm.
when I like see Garu and Sophie and I
Yeah.
just sort of pick one and bomb deck the other.
So
But all the times where I can just pick up Venus is like saves it.
So like you have Elekmon, who's a 3F because it's your general searcher. It could pick up anything in the
Mm-hmm.
deck except for Venus.
Yeah.
But then you have Tapermon, who can take the Venus, but cannot be played by Abyss
Mhm.
Sanctuary Throne Room. But then you have Gomamon, who doesn't really pick up everything in your deck. Great job of picking up the sixes, but not everything. But it can be played off the Abyss, so you've got that search value. Pay a 3 cost option, play a 3 guy for free. So that's good. And then Patamon, the inherit is -2k. You could be playing the Demi Devi to draw one, trash one. You could be playing the other Goemon that you said it never draws you a card. So I'm sure the Goemon was not really a consideration. So why is the -2k the best inherit for your deck?
So you have Gomamon, which draws you Gomamon draws you a card. It is the other good thing about that Gomamon is searchable by your blue Gomamon. So that is if you think that is important to you, then that's great. It's not important to me. The Demi Debi, you have to swing to the draw one discard one, right? And this is a very slower control deck. I never want to swing. I never want to hit security, hit a 5 cost tamer, instantly lose a game. I most of the time I'm trying to kill my opponent from 5, so I never want to swing, and that is why I don't value the draw discard one from the Demi Devi. The reason Pata is amazing is that you're getting the -2k. The -2k Pata kills Akumons, super important. On attacking kill an Akumon. You have no idea how important that is against Medusa. If you let your opponent just stack, if you let your opponent stack Akumon effects, right, you're gonna lose that game because your opponent's just gonna draw everything they need. Swinging -2k Akko, kill it, perfect. Another like the best player in the world, V Passion. He was my round 5 opponent. Home rolls plus home rolls gives you a +1k, so your Agiomons are 6k, right? But I can swing with the Pata, give it -2, Digivolve into Sylphie, -5, now it's -7, and then I go into the Minerva Mon from there, and then that is -7 in total, and that will kill the Agiomon after I Digivolve at 2. Uh, if that makes sense. And I can't swing to it because there's barrier, right? So that minus DP is very important in the matchups where kill a rookie, right? You can DD draw something a rookie, and then Patamon minus DP can kill it. So like let's say I have a stack of Wanya, Pata, Garuru, swing Garuru jamming, -2 the Paledramon, uh, -2 the Paledramon, and then now I can hard play a Minerva
Hmm.
to DD evolve it all the way down to a rookie and then kill it
And
without having to use a Sylphie Mon to begin with.
all right, so then we have like standard Gururu, Agio, Sylphie, all at 4.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and no other fives because you don't really need to see other fives. You only want to your first stack. You probably want to use it to digivolve, but because we're not OTK, we're not relying on it to kill. We just want the Sylphimon to bridge into the Venusmon, and sometimes when they do get rid of the Venusmon, you're able to poop something out, and
Hmm.
that can help you get the game the next turn.
Do you care about having the security tack +1 and the 5,000, or are you just putting this in the
Yes,
stack for the extra like play out effect?
when you're going out for the win, a lot of times you are swinging once with Agil, once with Garu, and then DNA, and then swinging twice. So that's 4 checks. This deck really wants to kill from 5 for security, sometimes even 6 if I had the Venus one of the Digimon to the bottom of the security. So that the extra 2 checks is very important in this deck. Maybe more if you're able to chain it with a Neptune or a Maruki.
Yeah.
So it does everything you want in this deck. I know like some people play the Rare Garou, but it just lets me fit more room for consistency and other cards by only focusing on 4 level 5s. Sometimes I don't see it. I just have to make sure I find it. Sometimes I find the Phoenix and I don't the Sylphie, and this Phoenix is kind of useless. But it's still good. Like actually, hilarious enough, one of my games, I dropped the Phoenix for 13, and I used the home rolls to proc the Phoenix effect to
Hmm.
neg the to give them the crack -1,
Yeah.
and they weren't able to clear the Phoenix. And then that was just game from there. Like I hard dropped them for 13, but I still couldn't win because
Hmm.
they didn't have the extra security check they needed.
Yeah. Yeah. The Venusmon, even though she can't reduce herself, she's still combos really well with Homeros. One thing I was wondering about is you're very shy on options in this deck. You're only playing the Abyss Sanctuary and the In Between
Mm-hmm.
Theater. Were there any considerations to play the other options that you have in TS?
Yeah, I thought about title stream to for the Ultra S ladder matchup,
Hmm.
but it doesn't really help when you think about it because it just bounces up to hand, and they can just try again the next turn, and that might not be good for you, right? Uh, it's and then I think the other option that's great is Sonic Shot. Sonic Shot is the one security bomb that Medusa might care about. You might suspend their end of turn attack, and then suddenly they don't have an end of turn attack, right? Sorry, suspend their Owen. Now you deny them the end of turn attack. They thought they had OTK, but now they are short, right?
Hmm.
I think that's another consideration. I also have tried the yellow one. I forgot what that one's called. I
Shock
tried the yellow
plasma.
one in yeah, for 3 you can kill a Aquamon, but really you're not progressing your game plans or don't really like it. Just all the options, you just being able to progress your game plan, get draws, get blocker, right?
Hmm.
The options I am playing are so important. 4 of Abyss Sanctuary is massively important. Just being able to getting extra card into your security, recover when you have 0 security, giving all your yellow and blue Digimon blocker, or even like be able to double level 6. It's one of those cards like in Magic where like you're condensing the everything it does, you condense it to one card, right? That is the one card that does almost everything you want in this deck. And
Which is
there
which
were
card again?
regrets about what Abyss Sanctuary,
Oh,
Abyss
okay.
Sanctuary, the blue yellow.
Yep.
It just does everything you want. Uh,
So,
yeah, it help you play searchers, right?
hmm.
Get you extra draws. The one thing that I think might be something I think about is if I want to play an extra Dan Yuki.
Uh-huh.
They're not very good. Like I always want to see at least one a game, right? And there were a lot of games where I lost, where I felt like I might have had a better chance if I found one. And I'm able to do those double level 6 turns, like double drop 2 Olympus 12 turns, right? Like it's just being able to end my turn on 3, play the option, pass them through 7.
Hmm.
And sometimes when I don't see the card, I think it's very rough. It's kind of a rough game for me, and maybe I want to bump that up to 4, but I haven't really considered what I want to cut for that. And I don't think I want to cut a sanctuary because that card is good even without Dan Cannon.
I've got
That card is very
another
clutch even
question
without Dan Cannon.
about the deck
Mm-hmm.
building. So, like, a lot of TS decks, they run a high number of
Mm-hmm.
Hiroko followed by Asuna. You're not playing any of them. These cards obviously offer great value and help you to DNA into your Sylphimon in the
Mm-hmm.
early game. I know you're playing control, you're not trying to go into Sylphie as soon as possible, but is the only reason you're not including them because you don't need the speed, or is there another reason to cut them?
When you think about the way this deck works, like look, see that there's 4 home roses, right? I think
Hmm.
a lot of decks that aren't playing as many home roses do run these tamers, and that is because sure they're very good in the early game. These tamers that give you the free group search and then a free level 4 or level 3 are very good in the early game, right?
They also
But
tend to
when you
have
get to the
fewer
mid or late
sixes
game,
in those decks too.
yes, and when you get to the late to mid game, your opponent is passing you to 5 all the time anyways, because they really can't have you unsuspend your home roses. And then when they do put you to 5, your teamers just sitting there. They don't do anything, right? They just taking up cards in your
Yeah,
card space in your deck that could have been
true.
other cards.
Yeah, these have
And
no activation with
mhm.
Fireball Memory, whereas with your Home Roast, you're still gonna get a draw on a memory. And then with the Dan
Mhm.
Cannon, you can totally use the end of turn effect normally.
Yes, it's because they are they if you play a lot of home runs and you play a lot of those free play teamers, they're gonna want to put you to 5 always, right? But now they have to think about, do I choke you? Do I put you to 5? Uh, yeah, if it's just not it's just yeah, those free play teamers only amazing in the early to mid game, but when you get to the mid to late game, you really don't need them. Don't need to see them anymore. I
Hmm.
would rather play pretty much anything else, like in between theater, for example, right? Like you get that 2 memory no matter what.
Yep.
Uh, yeah,
So
or a Abyss Sanctuary, just having the extra defense than playing those teamers.
I've just got one last question. So let's say you want to play this deck and your locals is running some hypothetical other deck. What deck is this uh, the kryptonite to? What is this the easiest counter to something else in the meta? Why would you pick up this deck? For example, let's say Zafaga's really good in your locals. Is this the best counter to Zafaga? Like, what? Why are you playing this deck, knowing what your meta might be?
I would say that this deck has no terrible match. There are no unwinnable matchups. I would say that you play this deck because you like playing the game. You hate any game you go into that is a non-game. You'd love playing this game so much that you would rather every game be a 4-6 in your opponent's favor than having polarizing matchups where you're 8-2 here and then you're 2-8 there, or like you're, oh, this is like that you 100% win this matchup, but you 100% lose this matchup, right? This is a deck that uh, has has 4-6 to 6-4 matchups, none higher, none lower. Is what I would like to think.
So, what are the easiest
Maybe
wins
maybe I'm
for
wrong.
this deck?
The easiest wins,
Yeah.
I would say there are no easy wins. This is you have to work for every win here.
Okay.
If it's like easy, if you have a good matchman to it, it probably isn't very meta,
I
I would
see.
say.
So you're
Uh,
trying to take
uh,
the randomness out of the game and make skill the defining factor between whether you're going to win or not.
yeah, either you misplay or your opponent misplays or you outplay your opponent, right? That is the only way. Like if that's the kind of Digimon you like, that, and I think this is a deck for you. I think it's the complete opposite to the Diabolo I bought in Nats, where it was a lot of aggro, a lot of rely on my opponents to misplay. Here, I have so many lines, I have so many outs, right? Every level 6 is an out to a particular board. Uh, like Medusa, you think that Medusa beats Minervamon, right? Because you get bottom decked, but if they don't see their if they don't see their tamer, if they don't see the correct tamer, right? They can't kill anything with Reducemon. Uh, you might think Manelli beats this because you can't reduce your hand size very often, but Neptune, having a Neptune Venus on board kind of just stops any Manellimons from beating you. But they still have the advantage.
Hmm.
Medusa still has the advantage. Pale still has the advantage, right? You can stun your Minerva, be not able to be redirected and swing, right? But Venus Bond's pretty good into Pale unless they find their two of Primogenitors, right?
Hmm.
Like their fighter modes don't beat Venus unless they have the Primogenitor, and that's where Venus is amazing. Uh, the Maruki's really doesn't really help many matchups. It's really just there for a surprise win.
Hmm.
Sometimes your opponent does the math, but Maruki kind of uh, says no to the math and gives you 2 extra checks per game sometimes. Uh, and 2 extra checks as in you hard play it, you swing into something piercing, unsuspend, and then you Ganon Cannon, get the second check in, and that's 2 checks out of nowhere a lot of times. Venus Mon is great into hybrids, right? They have outs to it still, but be able to stun tamers is something that not a lot of decks can do. Like this is a deck that can do everything if you find the right cards and if you know how to use them. And that is why I recommend this deck. Like Billy from Hong Kong, he did a amazing job with this deck. I'm curious to know what changes he's made. So, but I took this for Carta Magica regionals, and I had a blast. It's been some of the most fun Digimon I've played in a long time, and yeah, and I was able to convert most of those games to wins.
Yep. Thank you so much, Bobby, for the interview and answering the questions. Uh, we'll see you more at Eagle's Nest and have a great rest of your weekend.
Yeah, you too. Thank you, Michael. Have yourself a great rest of the afternoon. Yeah.